In a utility locker hiding, there was a student named Naoyuki, seeming to be out of breath. He thought there was no chance of her finding him there. With the door creaking as it opens, he hears someone say "senpai" in a sweet voice. Opening the locker door was a pretty girl saying that his girlfriend, had been looking for him. He was shocked and confused by the interaction. Back then, his father, whom his mother cheated on 6 times, used to say that always doubt what women had to say, even more so if they were the pretty kind. Since he was under much of an impression as a child, he thought if he spent time enjoying novels and anime, the girls would avoid him, causing him to have nothing to do with girls. He wondered how a top beauty at his school was flirty with him. She was Kirishima Nichika, who was his self-proclaimed girlfriend. He thought no matter what she said, the couple could only be formed if both parties consent. He wondered why she would choose a shady character like him, and if she was up to something. She excitedly told him that she had made a bento just for him. He thought it was strange, using his mind to its utmost to think of an explanation for all of this. He asked her as if he knew that she was up to something. She tells him that he was being so cruel to her, and that all she wanted was to make her boyfriend happy. He was stunned seeing her cry tears. Panicking, he said he would eat, and told her that he was just surprised because she had made so much. He compliments her food, saying that it is delicious and it was well balanced, telling her he could feel how committed she was. While munching on food, he thought it was pretty good, while Kirishima Nichika stared at him lovingly. He finished the bento box was stuffed like a dumpling. She told him that she'd be sure not to make too much next time. He thought there had to at least be a limit to making too much. He was stuffed where he almost felt sick. Kirishima Nichika is a good student, and her flashy appearance makes her the most popular girl in her year. Naoyuki wondered why a girl like that was calling herself his girlfriend. Seeing that she was called out by a third year, he spies on them listening in. Hearing the news, he was intrigued and ended up coming along. He knew that the place was clearly used as a spot for confession. Seeing that she was being confessed to, he wondered how she would respond. He thought that Kirishima was really popular, which made it even more mysterious as to why she had an interest in him. Seeing the other guy, he thought he was the exact opposite of him, more sociable and cheery. He was sure that Kirishima would realize after this. Kirishima to the third year replied by saying 100 good things about her and to list them out. The third year was stunned. Kirishima told him that if he really loved her, he'd be able to answer. Kirishima walked off, and Naoyuki was still puzzled. Kirishima grabbed his uniform, asking him to list off 100 points. Being put on the spot, Naoyuki started to go down listing one by one until he stopped at 100. Kirishima smiled, saying that was expected of her senpai. In class, the teacher takes attendance, naming each student until it was Kirishima's turn, not hearing an answer from her. He asks for her again, and she replied so quietly that she is there. Seeing that she was there after all, the kids around her started to chuckle. They gossiped that she was a quiet girl, as she could hear everything they were saying about her. Scanning a book for a student in the library, she paused, hearing that it was getting loud. The group of girls were gossiping and laughing loudly. It had not been their first time, and thought that it was her duty since she was a committee member. Struggling that today would be the day, she voices out for them to be quiet. Naoyuki, standing beside her, tells the group of girls that they are being too loud. Kirishima was stunned. As the group of girls begins to leave, Naoyuki tells her that he is borrowing the book. At that moment, Kirishima thought everything about him was so cool. They had only spoken once in middle school, but since then she couldn't help but be more and more attracted to him. She thought that when she became a cute girl, he would then look at her. Remembering this, she calls out for him. Having grades come out and Kirishima was the first place, she told her classmate that it wasn't a big deal, and that anyone could do it with proper studying, but in reality, she had stayed up all night studying. She thought it was all thanks to senpai's kind words, and with their help, nothing could bother her. Finding her senpai's classroom just as she was about to speak out to him, she heard someone call her name out. The Japanese teacher tells her that she has crushed the final exam. He tells her that it is amazing that she gets full marks every single time. He tells her that all students should follow her example and continue yapping, not letting her get a word in. She hopes that he will shut up. Thinking that he had seen her, she thought she'd wave hi at him. Seeing him stare at something else, she saw that he seemed to be looking at someone else. Seeing that it was a girl with twin tails, she was mind blown. She thought that girl was his type and that she had got it wrong. Seeing him stare way too hard, she got close asking for him. He was shocked by her sudden appearance. She thought it was about time he noticed. Climbing on top of him and thinking that she should give him some space, she suddenly tears up thinking that she can't do it and asks him to stop looking at other girls other than her. Seeing this, now Yuki tells her just now that he was staring at some litter beside the window, saying that it was left behind by the twin tail from before. He explains that he was just waiting to throw away the litter. As he asks her if she thought it was gross, she tells him that he is so cool and cute. He wonders what on earth is going on, and then they throw the trash together. Now Yuki sitting cheerfully reading his book. When Kirishima appeared asking him what he was reading, he was shocked. She told him that she knew he would be there. Now Yuki was nervous about how she seemed to always know when he was there. She tells him that he must really like books, remembering that even in middle school he seems to be in the library, and ever since that day of their encounter she had been secretly looking at the book-loving senpai. He tells her that it was nostalgic, that he used to spend his time here at the library, and so did she. She slowly processed what he said. Stunned that he still remembered, he tells her that nothing about her has changed. She thought no matter her appearance that he had always been looking at her. Grabbing his hands, she tells him that she is his girlfriend after all. He tells her that he has no girlfriend though, and she laughs. Both of them seemingly wanted to become an official couple soon.